Howdy, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, good day, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day, good week. Um, Wanted to make a quick video today. I don't have any, workout clips or, like day in the life type of thing today, but I do have some thoughts that I just kind of wanted to talk about for a little bit, and I want to talk about them because when I see other people talking about this topic, it always seems to help me. And so my hope is that maybe it will help somebody else as well. And one of the things that I try to keep in mind is sometimes it's the information and the messenger. So the same person, 10 people could tell you the same thing, but it might not hit you until the 11th person says it just right. You know what I mean? Um, what motivates one person, that same thing may very well motivate somebody else, but it has to be said in the right way, or um, with a certain tonality, or uh, with a certain personality behind it. So sometimes I'll get in my own head and I'm like, well, why do I need to say that? There's a million other people on YouTube that have already made a video that talk about the same exact thing. Maybe, but mine can be the 1,000,001 video that talks about the same thing, because maybe I'll say it in a different way, or maybe I'll um, put a perspective to something that it hits better. It hits different. I don't want to say better, but it hits different. Maybe um, I think it depends both what's said and who says it. So that being said, even though the topic today has been discussed, at length by many, it's still important to me. So I want to put it out for whoever wants to see it. And the thing that I've been thinking about quite a bit lately is doing hard things on purpose, um, and that can look like a lot of different things. That can look like running. For me, I hate running. It doesn't matter how far or short. I hate every step. To me, that's a hard thing. Sitting in the sauna. Some people love it. I hate it. To me, that's a hard thing. Um, Sitting down and reading 10 pages of a book. For some people, that's a hard thing. Um, Doing hard things on purpose. Uh, and, for the purposes of this video and what I've got to say, I'm referring specifically to hard physical things. Running, lifting, saunas, sitting in cold water, uh, carrying a sandbag up a hill, um, things like that, putting yourself in uncomfortable physical places on purpose, and the reason why. Um, for me, there's several reasons. One of them is mental strength, um, physical strength, uh, stress relief. If it's been a long day or a long week, instead of hitting the liquor store, do something really hard physically and wring yourself out. And whatever it was that was bothering you, or whatever your stressors were, beforehand, prior, good chance they're probably gone. They're up at the top of the hill you carried the sandbag up, or they're still sitting in the sauna because you sweat them all out. So that's one. But for me, in more than the stress relief and more than the physical activity, it's the mental activity. It's the mental aspect, that mental conditioning, the mental toughness. Um, I don't know if you've noticed, but life isn't getting easier. um, Life is not going to get easier. You're going to have easy days and you might have easy seasons, but for all intents and purposes, life's not going to be easier next year than it is right now. Um, and if things are going swimmingly right now and things are going well and smooth, just know that you're going to get smacked around at some point. Life is going to beat your ass at some point. And the way that you get through those is right here, right upstairs. The way that you make up here stronger is by doing hard things on purpose. And again, that can look different for everybody. It can be any number of things. For me, like I said, I hate the heat. So a really good one for me is sitting in the sauna. Um, and anything is not worse than sitting in cold water for anybody. Sitting in cold water sucks for anybody. So different things. It kind of depends on the person, but I'm such a huge advocate for discomfort on purpose, for the exact reason of, the seasons of life that are going to come around that are going to be really hard. You might lose your job. You might lose a family member. Depression might set in. You might not recognize like the warning signs coming that, you're about to be on a downward spiral. And it's going to be important to be able to catch yourself and to pull yourself back out of those. Because in case nobody's told you, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save us. It's good to have a support system. It's good to have people you can talk to, but at the end of the day, whatever you're going through, those people, whoever those are, they can't get you through it. They can't do it for you. You have to do it for you. And the stronger you are mentally, those things don't get easier. They don't ever get easier, but you get better at getting through them. You get stronger inside. You get it just like working out and going to the gym, you get stronger, right? Last month, you could bench press 100 pounds. This month, you can bench press 130 pounds or whatever numbers you want to put in there. It works the same when hard times come around. Things that would have broken you in the past, they don't seem as bad now. Is it because the bad thing isn't as bad, or is it because you have become calloused to hardship? Is it because you have become a better version of yourself that's able to deal with those things better? And I suppose there's discussion to be had about that, but when you're doing hard things, when you're doing stuff that sucks, just flat out sucks, you get to a point where you want to quit. You get to a point where you want to give up. You get to a point where you're like, why am I doing this? Why am I putting myself through this? And sometimes in those moments, it might be hard to actually have an answer. But if you can keep that in mind, man, why am I doing this to myself again? Well, because someday it's going to be necessary. Someday this will help me. Sometimes you have to go to dark places in your head to get through those hard things, right? Like if you've ever been on like a 20-mile hike, not even 20 miles, that's all relative. If you've ever been on like a hike out in mountains, you are well aware that you get to a point where it is the only thing you can focus on is left foot, right foot. That shit sucks so bad. It's not fun anymore. Nature is not beautiful anymore. You are so sick of seeing rocks and sticks and trees. And you might still have like 10 miles to go, or you might only be halfway through or whatever. And what are your options? Stop and sit here and stay in the woods. Well, no, that's not rational or reasonable. Well, then you have to keep going, right? And that is like, to me, that's a perfect metaphor for when hard shit comes up and when bad things happen. Are you just going to stop? Are you just going to quit your life and just sit and sulk in it? Well, no, because you're still in the woods. Your hike isn't over. You've still got more mountains to climb. So you keep going. You keep going. And if you put yourself in the situation and you put yourself in positions on purpose where your only option is to keep going, one day you'll find that you can go a lot farther than you used to. And you can go a lot farther than you thought you could. And the unfortunate truth is that life is going, whether you want to or not, life is going to put you in situations where your only option is going to be to see how far you can go, to see how much you can take. How many times can you get smacked and get back up? So in like a roundabout way, simulate those things ahead of time. simulate those things ahead of time, right? Because so like for me, for example, like, and I keep bringing back the sauna because the sauna has been a staple for me as far as like mental toughness training, if you want to call it that, kind of, cliche way to say it, but it's been a staple for me for a good many years. And that's because you can't cheat it. There is no shortcut. When you are sitting in 230 degrees, you're either sitting in 230 degrees or you get out, one or the other. Same thing with miles. You either went a mile or you didn't. There is no shortcut. And for me, there is a point where it is awful. It sucks. It's terrible. And my goal is always to get up to wherever that spot is. If that's 20 minutes, if it's 25, if it's 30, however long it is, get to that point where every single fiber of my body wants to get out and be done and quit and feel the cool air and get a drink of water, and then push past a couple more minutes. Make it harder even if you need to. Turn your music off. Leave your water outside. Try to simulate incredible adversity. So that way, when adversity does finally strike you in real life, you can relate it. You can relate it. When you're sitting in the sauna, when I'm sitting in the sauna, whatever, and I'm getting up to that 25-minute mark and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, I am dying. I just want to get out. I can't stand this. In my head, I try to quiet everything down, and I try to think, and this might sound hokey, I don't know, but it works. I try to think about, I'm sitting in cold water. I'm sitting in cold water. I'm outside. I'm outside. I try to literally convince myself that I'm not there anymore. I'm not sitting in there anymore. I'm still getting all the benefits from it. And that is an incredibly tough mental exercise to do in those moments because your whole body's screaming at you. But when hard things actually come up in my life, I've noticed, and especially the last 6 months, my family's going through a bit of a tough season, if you will. So I notice and I have observed that I am dealing with what is going on much better than I have in the past, or would have had I not put in the type of work that I put in. That was kind of a long ramble, I know, but the thoughts were there. I had to get them out. This is one of those that I just felt like was important. I don't know if anybody's going to see it, but knowing that I at least, did my due diligence of getting out what I thought was going to be helpful, had to. So that's all I got for now. I hope you guys like it. I hope you stick around. I know it was kind of long, but appreciate all you guys that show up and watch and like and share and all that stuff. So that is it for now, and I will see you guys in the next one. I love you guys. Brando well.